everybody, and welcome to the Dive and Live show. I'm here with my buddy Leo. Hi, Leo.
Hello. How are
And
you?
yeah, I'm great, and I think the people are also really great because they're tuning in from Mexico. That's nice. Esteban, big ups for checking my show, but you have to work because the time is a little bit different there, of course. And yeah, today it's Leo, my good old friend. You know,
Yes, man.
I'm happy we
Long
still.
time ago.
Yeah, man. I'm happy we still know each other, dude. It's really nice how we how walked into each other in Nachtlab recently when I was there with Ari. That's
Yeah. It was cool. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
I think that's the
Yeah,
reason we're here, and it was like about time that our paths cross again because they've crossed many times. You know, it's nice, and
I think so. I think it's really cool that we kind of doing the same thing, but in our own different way. And like once in a while, we like check each other out. It's like, hey, what's going on? What's
yeah,
going on?
yeah,
Okay, cool.
oh,
Blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
it's so funny. It's so funny how, yeah. But if if you're in music, then you always run up to each other. You know, it's funny that I remember that when we started in high school, I did Vierwielaandrijving, which was a Dutch hip hop band with my brother and two friends, and you were with Steven and Bas in the
Yeah,
BSA. You're scratching, I was scratching. You know, like basically we had the same path. You know, like starting in high school with music and going further and further. It's really nice.
yeah. It's really funny because I think yeah, exactly like starting with scratching and hip hop groups, and I was also like at my punk phase where I was like playing in a punk band, singing and playing guitar and everything.
Yeah,
And it's kind of, but it was always whatever musical expression in whatever way was the way to go. So that's yeah, that's been big journey
yeah,
and
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
So
Likewise, fuck, I've done some weird shit. I've done some nice stuff, and I've been to lots of different musical phases, and and now we're here, fucking
yeah,
online. That's the new
yeah,
normal,
wow.
isn't it? Strange shit. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but nice, man. Great you're here. You've got the project ready already, so this is cool. Yeah, just to give a little insight, you've released on Defected last year, right? Was it last year?
Yeah, I
The
mean,
track is
basically,
Ferric Dawn.
from when we to give a little bit of background. So, uh, basically, from a long time ago, me and Camille, we had a project, but we will touch on that later.
Yeah,
And
Groovelife.
basically, I've always been interested in a lot of different types of music, and my daily job was for many years to make music for commercials and shows, like electronic music shows, and the music that accompanies the fireworks and this kind of thing. So many different music styles have crossed my path in my career, and yeah, I guess lately I've been releasing music throughout my whole career under different names, but recently I think the focus has been more on that because well, also because of the situation, but also I guess because um, yeah, I mean at some point I guess I was making so many different styles of music that it was very difficult kind of to choose one or the other.
Yeah.
And at some point, I had like five different names. I was playing 5 days a week, like Thursday night for coked up students at Korsakov, and
Oh
then
yeah, I've done Korsakov as well. Yeah, yeah.
exactly, which is amazing. But and then Friday, at a really nice different party, and then on the weekend, played more alternative parties at Club Light, which were again like completely super healthy, no alcohol, no drugs. Very no, we had like chocolate shakes that made you basically dance all night. So I mean, that was kind of the alternative way,
Yeah,
but
like
very.
cacao, like just sniffing pure cacao, or
Oh, that's another way. I mean, probably that works too, but yeah, just kind of the different, totally, completely different ways. But it was so interesting because I got to know so many different scenes, and a lot of different people, different walks of life, and I could kind of take all that experience and put it into my job. Because if a brand comes to you and says, I want a little bit of hip hop, but I also want Avicii. It's like go, like
Yeah.
combine those two, and it's like okay, how the hell am I gonna do that?
Yeah, but I know
But
you can do this stuff because you've always made very versatile music, and you've been doing that for a long time. Was this all at Nachtlab? All these assignments that you did? Because you were at the
It was,
Nachtlab.
yeah, it was in the beginning. I joined the initiative, of course, of IDT and also Boss, that we of course all love. Who, we still think about a lot. Um, and it was, yeah, I started there, and it was really a cool combination of a lot of companies coming together in the same space, and we really had kind of a nice family feeling with visual companies and audio companies and everybody kind of coming together
Yeah,
for different projects. And it was really interesting because the corporate side also had a big part of the building. So whenever there was an interesting project, we kind of could synergize between composers, DJs, producers,
yeah,
visual companies to make those things. And that was, yeah, a really really good time. And yeah, I during that time I was in the studio, but I was also traveling a lot, producing on the road, which was amazing, but also very challenging. Like you get into another country and then you get a phone call. Oh yeah, we need a commercial tonight for television company or whatever.
oh, wow,
And my thing was always quick delivery and high quality, but also quick delivery. So then you get into the city and you have no internet and you have to basically finish a track in 4 hours to send it to the company to get paid, right? So
wow.
those were always really very adrenaline filled, but super, yeah, in the end, very fulfilling times because it was complete integration of travel and music production and
Yeah,
yeah, this kind of thing. So,
wow,
so
awesome. Yeah,
yeah, that was really good. And uh, I guess during that time, my releases were kind of showing the same thing, right? So it was a little bit of this, a little bit of that,
just
and
a little bit of
a
this.
little bit of this.
This reminds me of the
Okay,
song.
this is our next remix
Yeah.
project. Okay, Groovelife 2020.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You gotta go
Uh,
poppy.
but
Yeah,
it was, I mean, I just love that. So, I mean, from a booker perspective, that was challenging because they were
yeah,
like, okay, we want to book you. What do you play these days?
yeah,
um, and then after that, I really got into kind of the spiritual side of music. So, kind of combining music with spirituality. So, I
yeah.
went to Peru with a hard disk recorder and a notepad and a camera, and recorded songs with 13 shamans in Peru, the songs that they use during their ayahuasca ceremonies, and really kind of had a very, yeah, profound experience there
Yeah,
because it was the opposite of what I was doing with my job. With my job, I was completely in the commercial space, like
yeah.
making music for big brands, a lot of alcohol brands. And then on the flip side, I was like in the jungle with shamans taking ayahuasca and recording music with them. So it
Yeah.
was
How was
a
that
a
experience?
nice contrast.
How was that? Was it a very personal experience? Did you change a lot through the ayahuasca? Because everybody says like it really changed me.
Yeah, I think I definitely changed a lot. I think before that I was kind of very focused on being successful in my career, being a famous DJ, and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I really completely flipped, like I guess during that trip also. But before that, I was also already
Yeah.
interested in it. But that trip definitely made that happen. And yeah, I guess you get a very profound respect for nature because you're. It's kind of difficult to explain for people who haven't done it, but
Yeah.
it's kind of like you're talking to a psychologist, but the psychologist knows, like, actually
Yeah.
knows everything about you,
Yeah. So
and
you can't lie. You can't cheat.
you
Can't
can't
cheat your
lie, you
way
can cheat,
out.
and it explain. You go
Yeah.
basically on a journey
Yeah.
that, like, a perfect story that's personal for you, where you learn about yourself. And
Yeah. Beautiful.
what, yeah, I guess what it changed for me was to realize that music and art basically imitates life. Uh, Also the other way around, but basically the music you make is a reflection of what you're going through. Of course, your experiences, your your best times, your happiest times, and your most sad or melancholy times.
Yeah.
And that was but the most important is like to live your life, like basically experience your life completely, so that you can capture that in the music, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what the shamans say is that, at least with voices, uh, like every word you say is a universe in itself. So the way you pronounce things and the way you basically express yourself, you're shaping the world.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a little bit deep,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I
So
think
I
it's
shouldn't
cool.
I shouldn't curse. Sometimes I like to like just shout stuff because I just get excited.
I mean, you can shout, but then
Yeah.
after that, you shout some good stuff, and
Yeah.
then
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I always shout good stuff as well. So that's good. Shit. Fuck. No.
yeah, yeah, a
That-
little Tourette.
well, a little Tourette, you know. You can imagine with their shaping, man. With their
We're coming up with song names the whole time, like Little Tourette remix or
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Here, the little bit of this Tourette remix. There you go. Hey,
But
and
yeah,
yeah.
so
So wow, what a journey! And then after your experience, you came back and you thought like, I'm gonna make spiritual music. I'm gonna lay on the floor all day.
yeah, yeah. I mean, basically, what I did in the old Nachtlab is I went. I mean, basically, for the people to understand, I had two projects that I focused on. So one was more kind of like house music, just like to dance to and kind of a little bit more accessible. And the other, which I mean, that project is called Leo Moreno, and the other project is called True Identity, and that's basically my own spiritual journey, but also kind of combining electronic music with spiritual teachings
Yeah,
and
let's yeah,
ecstatic
sure.
dance and this kind of thing.
Yeah, let's play some True Identity because I like the lighted place.
Oh yeah, cool.
So
Can you play it from there or
yeah, yeah, I'll
cool?
chuck it in right now. It's a scene on my how do you call it? My stream deck
Yeah,
here. Here we go.
cool.
What a cool record. Really nice. With Yuki. My mom is called Yuk.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I always call my
that's
mom Yuki.
I am trying to find the lyrics because actually there was a Japanese girl and she used to rent my studio in Amsterdam,
Yeah.
in Maghlab, and she has a beautiful, well, as you can hear, beautiful voice that's very like etheric and kind of like what transcendent voice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
um, this song, I mean, I always have a lot of songs that kind of linger around for a long time, and then I don't really know what to do with them. And then after even sometimes years, it's like, okay, this is the perfect way to go with this song, right?
Yeah. It's like
Um,
it falls together. Yeah.
and like with her, this was the case. So actually, I she has a different name now. She's called Yuki M. So maybe the people can look her up. She's Yuki M official on Instagram, and she like does super cool projects. Uh, but
Nice.
so I didn't actually, I rented the studio out to her, and then she's like, oh yeah, I'm working on this little project, blah blah, and she played it to me, and I was like, what?
Yeah. 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 You're like, holy shit. Yeah. 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 It's
So yeah,
beautiful.
we thought about this track, and yeah, basically it's about, as far as I understand, since it's Japanese, um, it's the lighted place. So it's basically moving towards a better place in your life, in society, and kind of aiming for the best in your life and kind of really going for it.
Yeah.
And well, not kind of going for it.
Fucking go for it, mate.
Yeah, if I go right. And yeah, I mean, just even, I mean, when she sent it to me, she had a lot of echoes and stuff on the vocals. So I was like, okay, it sounds cool, but I'm not sure. And then so I took all the effects off, and she sent me the pure vocal, and then I just put
Yeah.
reverb on it. And I was like, okay, this is perfect, like.
It's done. Yeah. Hey, and
So we're working on this one.
yeah.
This one is gonna come up in the next 2 months, I guess. Yeah, looking for a label for it as well.
Yeah. All
But
right. So
yeah,
if there anybody watching, guys, sign it. You have to be major label. Hey, but I have a really interesting question. Well, I think it's interesting. What scale is she singing, and how did you? Yeah, how do you? Because if it's probably Japanese, then might be difficult than what we are used to with our 12 tones that we use here. So how did that work?
yeah, basically, well, the actual truth is in the beginning when I started this track. So that's a long time ago. I watched this movie, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, like a long time ago. Um, and they had a soundtrack of the movie which was in the same key. And so I started to think, okay, it would be really cool to do a song in kind of the register, because it instantly gives you kind of feeling. And at the same time, I was also researching, alternative scales, like the kind of 432 community is doing that kind of stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
where like micro tuning and
Yeah.
Pythagorean scales and this kind of thing. So I'm still completely into that, and actually all my releases with True Identity are also in alternative scales.
Yeah.
And yeah, pretty soon we actually working on a project which is going to be interesting, based on that philosophy.
Yeah.
That's going to come out pretty soon, like a kind of, yeah, I guess streaming club, music club. Anyway, we'll tell you about it when it's ready.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, I think it's really cool to just explore not only different scales but also the space between the scales. Like people like Aphex Twin and all those guys have been doing that for a long time.
Yeah.
And yeah, just if just use like the pitch function on your synthesizer and look for frequencies that you like, as
Yeah.
opposed to scales that you play. You know what
Yeah.
I
Just
mean?
use the fine tune to find something instead of like the
Yeah, I mean,
semitones.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
you personally you have a feeling with a certain tone,
Yeah.
and you're not using it because you're using equal temperament scale on your keyboard, and
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, it sounds cool, it sounds like the radio, but it's not me. So
Yeah.
maybe your tone is like
Yeah, I
like
had this. I
two
had
hertz above the actual
Yeah, so
notes
what
or
you
something.
like basically, because I had a
Yeah,
chat with Tis from Noisia. We did like a masterclass in Groningen, and
yeah,
he came and he had the diva, and he said he would change the temperament from it. Like instead of like 12 semitones between a octave, he had 24. So he
yeah,
would use. He said you don't even know. You can't go like, oh, it's a C major. You don't know. So because you don't know, you actually start to listen and start to feel what you're making. So therefore, I think also people that work with hardware and more modular stuff, they don't see the notes. They just have to go whatever they create, and not
yeah.
label it as a certain key or whatnot. So there's a lot of freedom laying there. So that's the same how this track went. You were
I
confronted
think
with
also like when you're working with minor or major scales, that's basically the the bigger version of that. Like if you have a chord and you add some notes in between the chord, all of a sudden it starts to have a certain feeling to it, right? So it's not
yeah
just major or minor, but like what you did in one of your tutorials where you have like plus 14 or whatever, like the
yeah
like the
yeah
specific chord,
yeah
then you kind of get an instant feeling. So I mean, with micro tuning, that's even amplified,
oh
because
wow
maybe
yeah
a little bit between those notes, there's another note that just evokes something
yeah
crazy, like amazing.
yeah
And that's kind of what's happening in this track. So she's floating somewhere, and then the chords and the melodies and the arpeggios are kind of in between.
yeah
So they're together, they're creating this atmosphere. So I
yeah
mean, what I really wanted with this track was kind of to literally take you to completely like entranced to this other delighted place, obviously.
yeah
But yeah, it's just very interesting to think
Yeah.
about, and
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I have to
it's kind
dive
of
more into this micro tuning, man. It's like really
maybe we can do one on that alone, in the future sometime.
yeah.
And
Yeah, it would be nice to have like a little sort of display like what's possible, because
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you get over the boundaries of the regular scales that we've been using for many, many years. So it's time for something new. I see.
Also, like if for people that really wanna like, if you think about reality and kind of reality being based around certain shapes, then the so if let's say the many people or some people might be familiar with
Oh yeah.
these experiments on water where you have certain frequencies and then you see the shape of the frequency in the
Yeah, what's the
water.
name of this guy again? He did this video clip with the fire coming out of
Yeah, that was a
the.
super cool one.
Yeah,
And
they.
the
Fuck, I forgot what the name was.
Dr. Emoto did like experiments with water and crystals,
Yeah, they froze
and
it. Yeah.
there are many people experimenting with this. But basically, my point is that if you have been listening to a certain type of sounds in a certain tuning for many many years, um, then the things that are kind of created in reality match that frequency, right? Because everything is vibration in the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
So, what if you change those frequencies? Then everything around you and the water molecules and everything else also changes. So, I mean, it's like when I thought about that, I was like, wow, then you can
Change your
basically
reality.
change.
Yeah.
I mean, you can change reality bit by bit.
Yeah, by changing the frequency, upping the frequency, or maybe
Exactly.
tuning it a bit down. Why not? Yeah, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody says here you should send Vincent a message. I don't know why Jerry is saying that. He sends a video. You should afterwards check it. Jerry is one of my students. Maybe he
Cool.
has
Yeah.
some tips on this. So,
Nice.
yeah, interesting, man. And so True Identity is more of your alternative path. Leo Moreno is more the guy that does the dance floor stuff, right? You've released on Defected with Ferric Dawn last year
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
self.
He's doing really well, and I mean, basically, when I started going out for the first time, it was in with an illegal ID, in the IT in Amsterdam and all the other clubs when I was like 14, 15. And that's the club sound is basically also something that I love, because it's been it's just like part of my life. So
Yeah.
I guess in this new way, the defected releases, they're really something that match that, that type of sound. And
Yeah.
Freek was also renting a studio for a while, and we just started making this idea, and all of a sudden it was like, oh yeah, maybe you can put a vocal on it. And then the Alex Mills vocal came, and we kind of played around with it, and it was like, yeah, it's
Nice.
really great experience. So I'm really happy with that one. That one's doing really well on everywhere.
It had
And
like 1 million plays. I saw. I was, of course, checking it out because usually it's not really in my corner. That's, I think, therefore we've like not crossed paths because I was just in a different type of sound.
Yeah, of course,
but it's nice to see you've landed on such a major label, and I've heard Ferric Dawn come by a lot as well, so it's just funny that the music world is so big, it's nice, it's good to see that it's gone that way. I know when you play this old Groovelife bit from our set, you can instantly hear these pianos. That was not me. That was your bit, because I remember you always. Yeah. I also remember your little attic you had in the house where you live with your mom at the water, and you had this little attic with like this. It was like a niche, this, and you had all your stuff there. I remember I've been there a few times, and it was really a great studio place, to be.
Yeah.
And
and I that was called Rooftop Studios in Hoorn.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Rooftop Studios. Yeah. Great name. Yeah.
And I mean, it was. It's like when we were doing all those, like making those productions there. I have really good memories of friends being there and making music together.
Yeah, you also did an album or so. What was it? This album?
Lounge music album.
Yeah.
Basically went to everywhere to sell it.
Yeah, I remember this. Maybe I still have it somewhere upstairs. It's funny. That's super cool, man. I forgot about this. Yeah, this lounge. What was the name?
What?
What was the name of this?
It's called A Taste of Life.
A Taste of Life. Yeah. And then I came. We said, oh yeah, Groovelife. We're really into the life stuff.
I mean, it was like we're living the life.
You were living. We were doing like a live show on West Friesland Radio.
It was really cool because it was like the first time. I think probably like both of us discovered the power that Ableton Live had performing.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
We just had a couple of loops and we had two controllers that were completely not sync and like whatever.
It's the UC33E. Do you still have it?
Yeah. I still, let's see. Wait.
Yeah, mine at some point like started sending out MIDI without me asking for it, so mine is gone.
Check it out.
You still have it there. Wow, that's the guy. They still have these overlays as well. Remember this green overlay for Ableton and stuff? But I think it was Ableton 3 we were using. Ableton 2 or 3, it didn't even have MIDI yet. You can connect it. We had to connect it really complicated. With MIDI, sure. but it didn't have any MIDI instruments, so we just would loop take loops from our tracks and started jamming, right, with a few tracks. I can't even remember how we did it.
I think we had like we bought two MIDI men like USB things.
Yeah.
Oh no, not even USB. I think it was only MIDI, like power and MIDI or something. I don't know, but and then we tried to sync them, but that was like way before the link days,
it's horrible. Yeah, but it did work though. We did the whole set on the radio, like in I think 40 minutes or something. It was not a full hour, I believe. And with Robert Glas, MIDI aangestuurde computers, West Friesland Radio. Like
cool.
he's having this primeur on his show.
We can actually play a bit right now. Let's see.
If you have it, it would be great. It was like 20 years ago or so, or maybe almost. Let's say 18
this one
years
is from,
ago.
It says 2005, but it's probably 2004.
Yeah, something around there. Yeah, so it's like, wow.
Yeah, okay. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Cool.
I remember.
It's like serious intro FX vibes.
Yeah. Filtering that shit up.
So I was already saying to Camiel before this whole thing, like we should do a remix, like
of all that stuff. Yeah. We were so happy, Groovelife, summary guys at the IJsselmeer.
Here it says, book us by sending an email to booking@groovelife.com.
Wow. Did we still have the domain? Oh, it's very Gregor Salto style. Right? It's
Yeah, like summer style.
Yeah, summer like... oh, the sweep. I remember the sweep. How funny.
Okay, I'm gonna skip a little bit. Let's see.
Yeah.
Here, wait. I think this is like more your style because you were also doing the percussion stuff already.
Yeah. I had a lot of these tribal loops back then that I was using a lot. So funny, and we actually...
You're getting like in techno there.
Yeah.
A little bit.
We had so many different sounds. Funny, it's so long, you know? This sweep, I remember this sweep.
Yeah, because we had like 5 effects.
Yeah.
So use like...
That's so funny. And we used Logic. I was producing in Logic back then, right? And then we...
Yeah, me too, yeah.
Yeah, so we rendered everything out onto Ableton, and I think it was Logic 5.5 or 5.3, whatever. It's crazy, man. Wow.
So I have the names of the songs. So one is called Bench Press, one is called Kadushi.
Oh yeah, Kadushi.
And one is called Technic with a K, and one is called Plucked. Anyway, yeah. So
how cool.
I think that's the thing that never really like worked. I don't know about you, but like for me, I always have the weirdest name for my songs, and then I call them something else, and that's like really check out which song is which.
Oh yeah, and you lose them as well if you want to if you want to search one track later on, like how's the arrangement and or how's the project, and you, oh fuck, there's one that I changed, because if you change the name different than the project, you'll never find it back into this list of like thousands of ideas that you have. That's really funny. Yeah.
So I mean, I think that if you just make a little bounce or like 8 bars of whatever you're making, and then you just put it in a directory, at least you know, like, okay, when you hear it again, you say, this is cool.
Yeah, but yeah, next to all the other projects, I've once had, I'm still looking for it. I was looking for a track, but I can't remember which year I made it, and I structure my Ableton by years, and everything before 2008 is like in a folder with Logic and Reason. I've used Reason, but then all these other years, but in these years there are folders that I had, like, oh, house, or I want to do something with this has to be sent to labels, oh, collaboration with the, and then I have all these folders, and I can't find one track that I have a video of it, like where I was posting on Facebook or something, oh, working on this one, you know, one like those, but I never found it again. It's a really cool track, but I can't find it. So, but yeah.
Oh, it's on Facebook, but you can't get it back.
No, it's on my old Facebook. I also deleted my Facebook a few years ago, so I was done with the whole social thing, and then I was like, oh fuck, delete my Facebook. It's a stupid decision because I also lost my whole network, so that should never do that again.
So like, I deleted Facebook, but now I'm gonna go streaming.
Yeah, exactly. I thought, like, you know what, it was a wrong decision. Now I want to go social as much as I can. I even activated my Twitter. You know, I still have Twitter followers, and I'm actually and also because I saw a post on Twitter from Steve Lawler, like on the whole situation that they can't just make us stop play, and that they're actually saying on some TV stations, yeah, people need to find a new job, but you can expect all these people that spend years of their life getting to a certain level of artistry, how do you say it? And then I saw this post, I was like, you know what? I support you, Steve. So I thought, like, you know, I'm gonna retweet him, and
yeah, of course,
you know. And I was like, you know what? And then Jaron was also, Nora Q was also like, hey, Camiel, I retweeted something of him as well, and he's like, oh, hey, I found somebody alive on Twitter. I said, yeah, me too. I rediscovered it. So yeah, now I'm going all the way. But yeah, nice. You know, this track must be somewhere. But yeah, I will never know. All right, back
Good.
to your music, man. Enough about my music.
Cool,
I want
cool.
to play. I want to play Leo Moreno. Is this Love Will? Um,
Set you free.
is Love Will Set You Free? This is the this could have been on Defected. Where was this released? Or is this
Well, this is actually, we just finished this one, and it's now, well, it is going to be released, but I can't
the
confirm that yet
where?
because,
Yeah.
yeah, we have
Okay.
to sign everything first. But
Ooh, exciting.
exciting. This was actually with Tiffany Page. She's a really good singer from the US, and I basically put a snippet on Instagram. And I was like, "Oh yeah, let's connect. Let's see what happens." And we
Yeah.
connected, and yeah, I mean, we've been trying to find the right sound for this track, so it had many different versions.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really like this one because it's also like kind of a like going back to the days where I guess like the Head Candy days and the Sulfuric
Yeah.
days,
Yeah. It's exactly what I had
where
to think of. Yeah. Exactly. So let's
and
listen.
kind of like a happy track where it's like let's just dance and forget a little bit what's going on.
Nice summer happy vibes. All right, we've got Jean-Michel online. Jean-Michel Dance, which actually is not his real name. Hey, man. And Justin is online. Shout out to Justin Dekkers. We always have to make a shout out to Justin because he's watching.
Yeah,
That's nice. Justin is my friend. All right, here we go.
nice.
He's the brother of my roommate. So you know. Here we go.
Baby, can you see what I see? You know what's in front of me. What's in front of me? Open your heart and feel the beat. The rhythm's moving, come dance with me. Stop at nothing for love. Stop at nothing. Set you
Woo! Summer sounds.
Yeah.
Nice. It really reminds me of the old school days when I went to Ibiza. I went to the Head Candy boat and had
Yeah.
great times there. It was really nice. How cool.
Shout out to Mike van Loon.
Yeah, do you know Mike van Loon? I've never met him actually.
Yeah, he's really great. He's like he escaped to a tropical destination and has been making radio from there ever since.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Mike van Loon. Yeah, he had Victor. No, not Victor Corral. Did he play those parties as well? No, he was more the chemistry guy, right?
Yeah, I
And,
think, but Mike's like doing stuff
Mike
as
van
well.
Loon.
Like
Yeah,
playing for like next to the pool, doing live streams and everything.
cool. Oh, nice. Yeah, also has to be done. You have to play next to the pool. I hope I'm going to play next to
Yeah.
the pool this weekend in Ibiza.
Nice.
Yes, I can't wait, man. Just to get out of it for a bit. Just a little bit of sunshine. Why not?
Yeah,
And-
yeah.
So yeah, can you show a bit of the project? It's nice to see you already had it open. Of course, this stuff is planned, people. But it's nice to see how you've used it because, I always find this music really well mixed. Like it's really it's a bit louder because it's a bit more they're reaching more people. So it's like basically a bit louder. So I'm really curious to how you do your master and whatnot. Just take a tour through the project. It looks very tidy, also. I have to
Okay,
say.
like I actually, before we got on the Zoom, I actually wanted to clean it up.
You have to if you're in my show. I always say, "Oh, you're tidy." Or if they're not,
Yeah,
I say,
yeah,
"Why
yeah.
not?"
No, usually I am like, so basically when I start out, I am extremely chaotic. So where I either work here and I take all my eventually I transport everything to the other screen, to the arrangement window.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, it's just like a playground. You know, I make different sections, and just for instance, like I have a loop or a beat, bass line, and I kind of try to imagine where it can go. So
Yeah.
here, for example, there's this beat. And yeah, this beat was from another record, and I I was working on the chords and everything of this record, and I thought like, okay, well, I don't really like the beat, so I had this other track where the beat was good, but the track wasn't that good. So I
Yeah.
said, okay, well, take the beat, put it in this track,
Yeah.
and then it was perfect. So
Sometimes it's nice to do that stuff. Yeah, just say like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna take these beats, put them in a new track." Yeah, I
and
really
it's
like.
like it's really like a gut feeling, you know. Like sometimes, I mean, even you like, oh yeah, maybe you should use that beat. You're like, no, you know, you can't do that because we're working this project. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, just
So,
try it. You know, you can always try it. You know, if you don't try it, you don't get anywhere. So I usually find that trying stuff, like even if your mind says no and you just do it, you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad. That's maybe a really good idea. I should do this more often. You know, but you can only find out if you do it. If you don't do it, it will never be touched. It's a non-experience. Yeah, and
Definitely.
I really like the break. The break when you start playing, it's like a whole sort of piano jam
Here basically,
with the first break.
the first break.
Yeah,
Let's see.
this
I
bit.
don't know what you're going through, but don't you know that love.
Yeah, so basically lately, or the last year, I guess I've been getting into pop structures. So the the true identity side of releases has been getting more, you know, kind of experimental, and this side has been getting more organized and kind of pop music like.
Yeah,
So I was watching a lot of kind of pop structures and kind of the way that they function, and it's really interesting because you can use those structures in your, you know, in your arrangements, just so that people, you know, they've heard these structures so many times before
Yeah.
that they're used to them.
it's like the Axis
but-
of Awesome chords, you know, like the
but you don't have to
1564 unit. Yeah,
but you don't have to use the whole thing. Like you can use a little bit of it. So
yeah,
in this case, I think I started with this one. So just like a
Is this just an Ableton Rhodes from Electric?
yeah, this is so this is a standard Ableton instrument,
Cool.
and I put the Haas effect on it to give it like a little bit more
Nice.
something.
Yeah,
I know that, you know, lately the newest tracks I haven't been doing it because I looked at the stereo tutorials, bunch of stereo tutorials, and talked to a bunch of like other producers, and there are better ways to do stereo than this, but it worked for this one, so I was like, okay, fine. Let's see. So without it, it's like
it's nice though. But do you delay also? Do you delay the sounds as well? Or you just pen them left and right?
yeah, I really like
Yeah.
to make these racks, the audio effect racks,
Yeah.
just because I guess back in the day you would have you know, one send, and then you would send a bunch of things there, and then you can kind of get cohesion between all the sounds.
Yeah,
And I think these days you have so much control over everything that it's really nice to just use racks, because
yeah,
you can have the original signal, you can have the delayed signal, you can have the
Left and
the
right,
Haas effect
yeah.
signal,
yeah,
and it all kind of comes together, and you have full control. So that's
Yeah.
really nice.
NoraQ also uses this for compression. He created a audio effects rack with like
Yeah.
3 OTTR. What is the multiband compressor?
OTT.
Yeah, and OTT, and then he has like 1, 2, 3, and he solos the mid band, he solos the high band, solos the low band, and he just puts a sidechain on one of the chains to sidechain or the high or the mid or the low, you know. And
Nice.
I think Audio Effects Rack is a great tool within Ableton to use. Maybe I should do a tutorial on creating various audio effects racks actually.
Yeah, I mean, like in the near future, I'm going to start with we'll mention it later about this workshop and stuff, but I want to put out some free racks as well to just like make people's workflow faster, because I think there are standard things that you need in your production that take a lot of time, but they could be done really quickly with an effects rack, right?
Yeah, or like have a MIDI track that if you open it already has a EQ and a reverb. I have a standard default MIDI track that always has already stuff that I use a lot. It has a EQ and a reverb, and maybe you want to add a utility. So you always have the same stuff, and it's not CPU expensive, you know. So you can still, make quite a chain already.
Yeah,
nice.
definitely.
Cool,
So,
nice.
So this was kind of the more kind of chill portion of the sound, and then I thought, okay, it needs to be beefed up a little bit. So Mini Monster I've been using for a long time,
Mini
as
Monster.
you can see, because it's not.
What is that? I've never heard.
It's
of
not
it.
actually bought yet.
It doesn't open. What is where? Why don't I see it?
Oh, let's see.
It's like a blank.
Oh, okay.
I don't see it. It's like we don't see the whole interface. You just see a bar. That's weird. It doesn't want to. It's freaky. It's being freaky. We never know how it looks like. Okay, people, if you want to know how Mini Monster looks, the Mini Monster, check it out on Google. I will actually as well, because I don't know.
It's basically, I mean, it's a
open?
Moog, let's say.
Okay, it's a Moog Monster.
It
sounds like Moog, yeah.
It's been really, really nice one. And also lately, I was a producer that, like, back in the day, I actually have a lot of sample packs that I made myself, really from scratch, like to take an FM7 synth and actually make, snares and hi-hats and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But lately, I'm like more kind of doing a combination. Like I use my own samples to kind of create the sound that I want, but also I just use whatever I can use to get the sound that I want, because I think, eventually you just want to finish tracks, right? So you don't want to, I mean, you can be, I think back in the day, we talked about this also often, that you can be, EQing a hi-hat for 2 hours, or a kick drum for 2 hours, or layering kick drums for days, especially also with other styles like techno and this kind of stuff. But
they just sample a good kick.
If it just works, it works, use it. So actually, Splice has been something that I really like lately. And let's see. So I have a couple of effects here from Splice. Maybe the bass and this could be interesting to. I can play the break with the vocal. Maybe that'll be cool. Let's see.
I don't know what you're going through, but don't you know that love's here for you? What would you do for love? Baby, can you see what I see?
Cool breakbeat also.
You don't know what's in front of me.
Now I get the pianos and everything.
Nexus, good old Nexus. Haven't used that for years. Haven't used the Nexus for years. Nice.
Yeah, Nexus, I really like to use it kind of as a thin layer, I guess, because here you can see that it's over here, because the drop is over there. So when the actual drop is, I use the that one.
Ah, yeah, this one sounds huge always.
And that's just
It
because
also has these classic sounds. Yeah.
people know that one, and it's even if you use it like as a layer and you
Yeah.
distort it a little bit.
Yeah, Joko on the show, he also showed, like, he says, yeah, if you really want to go classic, you got to get this one. And then he played like this sort of.
Oh
like,
yeah, that sound. Yeah.
you know, the one from
the
the
Robin
90s.
S sound.
The Robin S sound, exactly. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
So I mean, what you can hear is like basically, I have I have two pianos here. So one is the M1 and one is the Nexus. The Nexus is kind of, yeah. You can hear it. So I like it, but I kind of beefed it up a little bit with the glue compressor, multiband dynamics, decapitator, Valhalla,
Yeah,
and
wow.
this is the
DJM filter
DJM filter,
from
basically
Pioneer.
emulation.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the emulator of the
How funny.
Pioneer filter.
Yeah, how funny.
Because people also used that sound, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with the M1, basically, I'm using this portion of the spectrum.
Ah, the Ozone 8 imager. Can I see your Ozone imager? Because I
Yeah,
use
of
the
course.
9 a lot. We have the 9 package here. Yeah, it's similar. Yeah.
I mean, it's basically upwards.
Yeah, a lot though. I use it and you also put the stereoize all the way to 20 milliseconds. I turn off like the lowest band. I always turn it off to not get like phase. But yeah, in the end, I don't know, you know, it's just a habit that I do, you know. I saw Mini Loke once say like, yeah, it doesn't matter if it sounds good, you know. So, but
I also think that like when I look at the spectrum, there's not a lot happening, you know, like this one is at 190.
Like it's
so
cut anyway, so yeah.
But I also, I agree with that. Like sometimes you're like, yeah, but the theory says this, but then the feeling says, it
so
sounds right, so let's do it.
Feeling says, ooh, keep going. You're like, all right, fucking crank it up.
Crank it up.
Yeah.
So that's, I guess, together they are just kind of works. Let's see.
Yeah, nice.
And then for the bass, I always like to just, I guess that's a basic thing, but to group all the instruments. So if I have pianos, I like to group them. Bass as well. So this bass also has two layers. So the sub boom bass. I don't know if you can see that one.
Yeah. Love the sub boom bass. Yeah, the rest I see. Only this mini monster wasn't really. It was hiding.
The monster was gone.
The monster was hiding. Yes.
Fire, of course.
Oh yeah. I haven't
way back.
Haven't got this one, man. I've never got into it.
Yeah. So kind of. Let's see what.
Boom boom boom. You use LFO tool for sidechain?
It really depends on the kind of feel that I want. So. In this case, I did use it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And usually you can see that I was still like here. I was experimenting with if I wanted to use compressor or sidechain. Yeah. I think, so sound wise, basically these two, this is the low, and this is more kind of the attack.
Yeah.
And then the attack, basically left and right to create kind of more of a stereo feel.
Yeah.
And
do you monoize?
Sorry?
Do you monoize as well, like the low end later on in your master, that you put like a mono?
Oh yeah, always do. Yeah. I mean, I haven't done this because this is the pre-master. It's basically -5 for -6 dB. But I always use the Brainbox thing.
Oh, yeah, from Brainworks.
Brainworks, yeah, sorry. Brainbox is the new toy that I got.
Yeah.
plug in the lines.
Oh yeah, BX Control. I used to use that a lot, but I I don't have.
Actually, I was looking for the other one. Let's see. I think it's that one.
I had a Boom I used a lot as
Oh,
well.
here we go. That one, yes.
Yeah, it doesn't show also.
Basically, it's the BX Digital V2, and
Yeah,
I always use the Mono Maker.
yeah. I remember. I know how it looks, but it's just not showing on.
Okay, yeah, okay. Maybe
something wrong
we
with your
can do
plugins.
another. I mean, basically, we could use the
Yeah.
we can use the Ableton plugin.
Yeah, the utility just to make it mono. You know, because I was wondering, because you make the bass so wide, it might need like a little bass mono making stuff. You know.
Yeah, so basically over here, same thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Yeah, I always put it on 150. I don't know if it's good. If it sounds right, it sounds right.
Yeah, also like there are so many times where you break the rules and you're like, okay, this is rationally
cool.
wrong, but
Yeah,
it feels
it's
really good.
pretty cool. Yeah, and also adding loads of noise in your music and go like, you know what, it's kind of nice having this going through it. It's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, basically the vocal I have in a different session because we recorded different bits. So we were talking back and forth what the song was about, and usually when I work with vocalists, it's like you have one instrumental and then you either get it back with full vocal production or like at least parts of the vocal. But in this case, it was really interesting because we kind of went back and forth. It's like, we had this whole backstory about this person and what was happening to this person. And so the vocal I unfortunately can't show in the session right now, but maybe we can go over some other stuff.
Yeah, just feel free to rock on. I really like to see the chain here, the whatever. Do you actually your drums? You don't have all your drums grouped as a in quarantine, so to speak. Hi-hats I see you have, but
yeah, here so here are all the hi-hats. So it's basically saturator.
yeah.
Above saturator.
Taking out some highs there.
Yeah.
Like some nasty frequencies.
So kind of EQing the highs here, side chaining.
Yeah.
Here's some reverb.
Valhalla room. Yeah, nice.
Kind of the short, kind of a small reverb to kind of give the hi-hats a little bit of space. But so I guess this one is for the just the direct signal, and this one is a little bit more for
the room.
Yeah, for the room. Yeah.
Cool. Nice that you do it like this. I use a lot of sends for this. I just have set up like 8 sends or something, and then send it there. I have a compressed reverb send and a small verb and a big verb and all that sort of stuff. Funny.
Yeah. I definitely used to do that also. But I think it depends on the track. Like recently, I really like to just be able to place different things in different spaces. So maybe the hi-hat has like a really small reverb, and the snare has another reverb.
Yeah.
And the kind of the way that kind of to gel things together, I do that more with the groups. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm contradicting myself because there are some things that are not grouped.
Yeah. But, I know the feeling. Yeah. But I really like it that you use saturator a lot. You know, lots of people use FabFilter Saturn or PSP Vintage Warmer or some Waves plugins or UAD. But you know, the good old saturator from Ableton works really well to saturate. Actually, it's nice.
Yeah. Also, I think that the drum bus is really powerful.
It's insane. Yeah.
It's really powerful because it's if you just use it a little bit with on the right frequencies, you can basically, I mean, for me, I kind of get the feeling of a mixing desk, you know, kind of the push and or not the push controller, but like the push in the signal of a mixing desk.
Yeah.
And that's really, I mean, that's very like expensive sounding.
Yeah.
But I mean, regardless of that, recently I've been really liking the Plugin Alliance subscription thing.
Yeah.
And they have some, I mean, amazing plugins that, I mean, they're on my other laptop, but yeah, they're amazing. I mean, the SSL channel strips,
Yeah. Yeah.
those ones are so, I mean, I really like them.
And these are the waves or the UAD
the Brainworks.
Brainworks. Brainworks also has SSL.
Yeah, I really like the
emulations.
Brainworks. I mean, I used to use the SSL, the Waves ones, but I actually prefer the Brainworks.
Yeah, yeah.
And let's see what else we got. So we looked at the bass. I actually made some strings as well. No, there are more strings.
Reminds me of this track. It's like this old.
Strings of Life.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah.
I mean, that's also one that basically came out when that whole era was
That
happening.
time, yeah.
Let's see if I can play all of them.
Yeah.
So this is just actually also an
Ableton stuff, yeah.
violin, because I mean, recently that it's been releasing a lot of good stuff, and all the packs are
man,
actually really good.
Yeah, so I think this is a lot of pack work here, because I've at some point I found this piano, the LA stack piano. I don't know, it sounds awesome. If you need a piano, just check your library for the LA stack piano. They just sampled the pianos, and it sounds like a Contact kind of expansion pack.
That's what I was gonna say about this one.
Yeah.
Like this, I mean, I was using a lot of Contact before, the strings in Contact, but this is actually nice.
It's closer to the source, less CPU,
yeah, definitely. So this one is I don't know what else I can show for this one. Let's see. The arpeggiator, but I mean, I guess that's pretty self-explanatory. Serum, OTT.
There you go.
Just the high end, and then it's doing some auto pan stuff somewhere in the track.
Nice.
I think this one also doing
This
that.
is another different stage of the track again, like where it's actually going, it's more like sort of like driving or powerful, basically.
Yeah, giving it. So this is the second. This is basically the second drop. So let's see.
Stop at nothing. Set you free. I will set you free. If you believe, love will set you free. If you believe.
Yeah, something is. I don't know if you.
Something is clashing. Yeah. I don't know. It's something
clashing. I think it's some kind of reverb is doing something weird.
Yeah, I hope you didn't save. Make sure you make a save for Dive in Live save, because I always have, if you have people in the show, showing their.
Like, yeah, the master is not
Yeah.
It's already sent, so it's okay. It's
Okay, so it's already saved. Pre-master has been done. Great. It really reminds me of the time. I've played Sundays at Escape in Escape with my friends. We had a DJ team called the Funk Stars, which was really funny, and we played because we also met in Lexion where I used to work, right? So then this sound was really like famous back then. Like it's really cool how you get music makes you time travel back to this time. It's really funny.
Yeah, definitely.
If I hear this track, I was like, oh yeah, It's really, how can you, it's really, I think it's very skillful that you can make a track like this. It does require some proper skills to be able to make such a track.
Yeah, I think that it's. I mean, at least for me, it's really been like learning and also kind of looking outside of your comfort zone for things that you. I mean, just to learn. Like I knew a little bit about chords, but like to learn about pop structures, and on the flip side, learn about micro like different scales and
yeah.
Then, I mean, eventually I want to combine all of it. So I am making the secret project album.
Ooh, another name. Keep them coming.
I can play a little bit like of one track. Let's see if I can find it. I'm basically trying to combine all those things together. Yeah.
Cool. Curious. By the way, you're now in Berlin, right, or not? Because you always, if I text you or something, you're like, "Oh, I'm on my way to Berlin. Oh, I'm on my way back. I'm on the train in Berlin."
No, I'm now in a secret hideout.
Yeah. No, but you're in Berlin, but your studio is still in Nachtlab, right? You still have it there. I was there last weekend actually with Ari.
Yeah. We basically, when I'm working, I just go in and just finish stuff and then go out again. And actually, that's the best thing. Like to wake up early, go kite surfing or something, and then go to the studio and like bust out a couple of mixes, and then go back and do something fun. Because then your mind stays fresh, And I used to do these mega sessions of like 10 hours, 12 hours, and I mean it also has its things when you're with a couple of people and you're like in this kind of atmosphere making music. It's also great.
Yeah.
But recently I just really like working very efficiently and kind of spending my time with family, friends, relationship, all that stuff.
Yeah, just making sure that you that when you're going to the studio, you actually fix it within a few hours and leave. Yeah, and it's also good, especially when you're doing mixing. I think it's good to go in with fresh ears, do some mixes, and leave, and not get like hung up on this last final kick or this little resonance in the hi-hat or whatever. Just make a mix or make two, and the next day you make another one, and then you pick out the best one, and you go, okay, let's roll with this one.
You can, because you can keep on going forever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's never finished, man. I'm gonna make a few mixes tomorrow for my EP.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see if we can get this thing to work. Let's see.
Oh, I like this.
Breakdown.
Wow, but burial vibes.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Right? Fuck. Yeah. Nice.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's like a definitely burial vibe.
Nice. I love this project.
Yeah, something like that.
Interesting stuff, man. People actually woke up. Tupski's online, nice and trippy. See you soon, Tupski, by the way. Michel's online, old SAE student. He already likes it. You know, it's good. It's really like, I'm not sure, but I like this stuff really. I think this is the coolest stuff you've ever made. This is like
Thanks,
this beat.
Thanks.
It's like really like off. Sort of, it's not offbeat. It's still, you can still follow the rhythm, but it's so designed in such a way that it really puts you on a different sort of like thing here. Nice Boards of Canada. Also, Misha says nice, like Boards of Canada. It really gives you this. Also, Boards of Canada used a lot of this micro tuning, actually. You know,
Nice. Yeah.
Have you ever listened to?
Yeah, I know them.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They're awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think these micro tuning also, you know, this whole, if you use and micro tuning and like sort of abstract kind of beat design, you get into the realm of the burials and the Boards of Canadas and the orbs of this world, you know, to make it more. Yeah, I don't know. Like it's abstract, but it's interesting to hear, man. Also, how the beat changed after the drop. It's not the same beat coming back. It's just it's the same beat, but then suddenly has this other drum in it. That's, you know, nice. I really like a camel. Or, you know, it sounds like a camel
cool.
as well. Like you're sitting on a camel. Hey, dope. And how many tracks do you have you done for this already, or?
I have like 25 tracks, but
25. Holy moly.
I'm trying to find this other one where it's for the same project. I'm working on it with a very cool vocalist.
Nice. Well, if you can play one more, that would be great. I'd love to listen to it.
Yeah, let's see.
If you can find it. Otherwise, let you find it. In the meantime, we listen to Mystery of Love, which is totally different again. You know, you're such a versatile dude, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
So
background. So this song is from a movie about two guys basically that fall in love, and it was like a romantic story. And but just the way that they filmed it, and it's like set in Italy, and the way that they captured basically this setting, because I mean I also love Italy, the countryside there, and it's beautiful, of course.
Yeah.
And then Sir John Stevens, he is one of my favorite songwriters. He made the title song, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. So
yeah,
I had a gig, so I basically made an edit for the gig, and then people were like, yeah, what is this? You know, you have to put it online. So that's what that is. So.
Okay, cool. I love the story already. All right, so here we go. Really nice song.
English. Zo, klinkt echt als een bekend liedje.
Yeah, it sounds like a track I know, like that I've heard on the radio or something, Not that I listen a lot of radio, but it just, I don't know, it just, also the chords again, it sounds familiar. I think that's the poppy feel of it, that instantly people go like, oh yeah, I knew this. Rick Stewart,
this guy, he makes amazing songs, and there is... there are also a couple of really good remixes from his tracks, but the way that he uses chords and instruments is really next level. So check him out.
Yeah, cool. Rick Stewart said, "What a track!" So people like it. Nice.
Thank you, man.
This is good. Yeah, man. Yeah. You're gonna be famous after this show.
Oh my god! That's what I always wanted. Basically, this next one, I found it because I had to go through a bunch of other hard disks.
Yeah, this is for the secret project, right? Nice.
This is for the secret project. I cannot play the whole thing.
Yeah, but just a bit.
I a couple of years, 2 years ago, I was like traveling a bit more, and basically made music on the road. And this track is one of those other tracks that came together, through time, I guess, waiting some time. And I made it on the train from in Stockholm, from the airport to the city. And
cool.
It was basically, the type of feel. And then Bruce, a friend of mine, he is working, he worked out a vocal, and he was like, I don't really get the right vocal for it. And so it took a little bit, and then all of a sudden he was on a train, and he didn't even know that I made the song on a train. Yeah. And he was like on a train, and he's like, oh yeah, all of a sudden I'm getting inspiration. So he wrote lyrics on the train for the track that I made on the train.
Yeah. It's a train track. How's it called? It's called
the train track.
The train track.
So it's called Alchemy, and it's gonna be on the album eventually, probably somewhere next year, early next year.
Yeah.
So I'll play a little bit.
Yeah.
Yellow bricks, baby. If you're looking out the window, what you see? What you see? I see tracks of endless possibility. If I'm honest, I love the way your orbit changes colors. I'm swerving and switching lanes, about to blow my cover. You know I fuck with ya, this is my proposition. There is this gold mine with a treasure in it, wanna find it with ya. It's gonna be hard, tougher than tough, on the edge of the world. I'll give my all, but I'm drowning and running out of air. I can tell you well aware I need something, but you own it. I can't believe we came this far without knowing. The smell is in the air, I feel we're almost there, 'cause my feet are almost broken. It was worth all the pain, the glass in my veins. Now all I see is yellow bricks of gold, yellow bricks of gold, yellow bricks of gold, yellow bricks, yellow brick. I'm drowning.
Yeah.
Wow, crazy production. If you listen to like the like the backing vocals, like they're really well placed in the back. It's really nice. It's really like I'm there in the room. Super cool.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. Interesting, man. Yeah, it's like the vocals. It's kind of cheesy, if I may say so, but it's also it suits the sound, of course, really well. It's wow. And
I think cheesy is also a way to say that it fits the track.
Yeah, it does.
I guess the style is obviously R&B.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I mean, I guess in the it's like pop R&B with kind of a more, I guess, future bass type background.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I just love the way this song came together as well, and we're gonna find a good way to release it.
Yeah.
Hopefully through a certain label in Australia of certain, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's it's very emotional track. You know, this guy, the lyrics. You know, I think a lot of people can relate to it. It's really like music that reaches a lot of people. So I guess when this comes out, you really get a lot of reach. You know, with this stuff, it's more accessible for people, and you really nailed the whole genre again. You know, or like the fusion of multiple genres. It's ridiculous the production techniques that go into this to make it sound like this. It's really awesome because it's totally different techniques than you use basically on this track. Well, it's not totally different, but it has certain different like side chains that you need to know to use, you know, like these side chains that only go on the one. And then I did a side chain tutorial, a creative side chain last week, and you have a side chain only in the first kick, for instance, you know, like, and then, you know, it waits and another one, and it's not like it, you know, you like this wow. It's like totally different way, and yeah, it's nice to hear that you just nail this, you know, in every style that you do. It's really funny.
Nice man. Yeah, I'm trying to look for type of
here,
kind of explain this.
Actually, people have questions for you. Let's see.
Cool.
Rick Stuart says, I hear some Royksopp and The Weeknd offbeat like influence in your track. Which artists inspire you in general?
I love so many different artists, but I guess in the future bass space where, you know, this is kind of in also. I love Drulu, Son Hollow, Flume,
Flume,
the whole Atom Nation thing, like Gidge, all, you know, a bunch of those artists.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's why I have such I just love electronic music. Like that's why it's so difficult for me to make one genre, because I hear something new. Like I hear the new Flume track and I'm like, wow, okay, how did he do that? And then I'm, you know, literally what I was looking for now was like Flume sidechain 1 to 5, and then I kind of investigate how you get that specific, you know, sidechain that he has. The track I played before, the kind of trippy track, was definitely, you know, Gidge inspired. Burial, of course, amazing.
Yeah, I only know Burial and Flume from this whole list.
Yeah, Stimming, still amazing.
Stimming I also really liked.
But I mean, there's so much good music, and I guess from the you know, from way back, I guess what really inspired me was Timbaland, Teddy Riley, Michael Jackson, Prince.
Did you see the Timbaland masterclass series?
I started watching it, but I was watching his Twitch videos, and he's just this
guy's out there. Is such a funny guy. I really like his personality as well as how he approaches the music. He's just in it. He just knows exactly what he wants and how to, like, oh, you got to pitch this up, or this needs to be a bit earlier. He just knows exactly where what should go. It's really, really funky to see him. Like, and also
true. Yeah, I think also that he with Missy, you know, they were basically in a house together, and that's, I mean, I think something that is really inspiring. Basically, if you find the right vocalist or the right artist to, you know, work together. Basically, they went in a house together and made a bunch of records, and never, you know, during that time didn't listen to any other music. And those records from back then, they're still, you know, they're still modern because they're from like outer space or something.
Yeah, he's got a lot of these productions that you really go like, what the fuck, you know? How did he, you know, come up with this stuff? All these weird samples that he's used, and it's really it's just insane.
Yeah.
The man's got
but definitely like Royksopp is definitely also big inspiration. I actually remixed them back in the day in 2009. They have this track with Robin, I think, called Monument, which is I think the last mix that they did is incredible. Yeah, it's so much good music. It's just,
Yeah.
I have like a bunch of playlists that I have to. I mean, it's good because I'm doing a lot of sports now, just so I can get through my playlists.
Yeah. I like to go to the playlist as well when I go to the gym. Really well heard, Rick. Rick has an ear for it. So if he hears you have workshop influences, well done.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it says, oh, Live 3. I thought I was early with my Ableton 5. Well, yes, I think we're a bit older than you. I'm sorry, man. And we're not that old.
I mean, I started with Fast Tracker. I mean, that was like
Yeah, me too.
time ago.
Yeah, me too. I was 15. So it was
Yeah.
like 24 years ago, 23, 24. Holy shit. I'm getting old. Fuck.
You're getting experienced.
I'm getting experience, man. Yeah, I'm just ripening up here, and all right. So we have we went to all the tracks. We went to your project, and yeah, Leo. I don't know if anybody has any more questions, because otherwise we're gonna wrap it up. So feel free to drop a question in. My Leo, I really appreciated you being in the show and sharing all your musical adventures with us, which is quite a lot, actually, man. I'm really amazed by how you've developed over the years, and always still making music, but then all kinds of stuff, because you were doing the same thing back in Hoorn on the rooftop studio, making lounge, but making hip hop, making house, and you always been interested in all the different genres, and that's what I really admire, because I've lost myself in house and techno for a long time. Not that I don't like pop music, but I just really enjoy really deep techno stuff, and I really admire you for trying all these things with vocals and really figuring out all these pop chords and stuff. It's amazing to see. So
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks for your time, bro. Cool. And
I had a few things that I wanted to say before we wrap it up.
Yeah.
So basically, if anybody out there is watching this and is like, I am working on my tracks and I can't finish them, basically what I do with my clients is that they send me tracks. We have a Skype call and we finish the track together, and we kind of try to see in which genre we can fit it, and we finish the track accordingly so that you can actually get it ready to send it to record labels. That's one thing I do. And the second thing is that next Friday, I'm going to have my first free webinar on how to develop your own sound as an artist. So basically, I'm going to give you a few tools to put in your tracks to help you with your own sound. So that, I think that's one of the things that is really important these days, to kind of follow your own lane, use other genres, but also follow your own lane, so that when you perform or when you're sending tracks, that people get a kind of a feel for, okay, this is this guy or this girl. And that's what I plan to do. So that's
so
next
what do you
Friday.
do? You get people through their tracks, like the first thing you said, that you help them finish tracks. So maybe if I have people in my advanced course that really seek for this particular guidance, I can maybe send them through to you, for some extra sort of finish your track coaching, because I'm not
cool.
I'm just giving the tools and just analyzing it with them and giving them some tips, but I'm not finishing it together with them, because you're obviously way broader in a musical genre style than me. So maybe it's nice to make a collaboration in this, man. I can send people through you,
definitely.
Yeah.
And I think at some point we're gonna be able to put some links there, or
send me the links to the webinar and I'll put them in the YouTube link, because awesome. this is going to be on YouTube instantly. I just have to upload the thumbnail with your head on it, and cool. Then it will be on YouTube forever and ever, and then we can put the link in there, and feel free to also post the link in the YouTube community of the YouTube, the Lessons in Live community on Facebook. We have the Facebook group, and there's 700 people in there. So
I'm already in there. So
yeah. So knock yourself out. Just post the link in there about the webinar. I didn't know you were doing the webinar. Really nice. When is it? What time? Is it what
it's
day?
Next Friday at 8:30. So
I know. Can't make
we
it.
can we'll put the link in there, and you can sign up.
Will it be recorded?
It will be exciting because it will be my first one, but we'll see how it goes.
No worries. If you need tips on how to do this.
You've been doing this for a while.
I became a pro. Yeah. It's just like I'm just like sitting in my living room having a chat with you. It just feels like, I've been doing a lot of webinars as well, like free ones to promote my courses and stuff. So it's
Very
nice.
good.
It's really cool. I really like this online world. I do miss the real world though. But I'm going to Ibiza on Saturday, doing an Ibiza bootcamp. So I'll have real students again, like in the past. So that's really
Very nice. Yeah, I mean,
like
it's not bad, Ibiza.
It's not bad. No, it's nice weather. We have a nice villa and a studio, and you can do yoga. So I'm gonna, it's gonna get fit and get a little tan and teach the old-fashioned way. Remember earlier this year when we can still move and touch people and stuff.
Very good. Yeah.
So I'm really happy. There's a lot of it. There's a cool group, and I really can't wait to get started and showing them Ableton. Yeah.
Nice.
Ableton
No,
bootcamp.
this has been really nice, and also very cool to like reconnect and kind of reminisce about back in the day. And
hey, Lucien is
right
online.
now.
Yeah, it's super nice to do. know, and I think people really liked it to see like us vibing here about Groovelife. And Lucien is online. He's also doing a school. Hey, Lucien. So yeah, it's nice, and I think it's really cool that that we've met recently in Nachtlab and we could catch up like this, and we'll do it again, man. I'm actually now getting people that I had before back on the show, like being my Joe Rogan kind of vibe.
Cool.
And,
I mean, lots to talk about. I think definitely do this again.
Yeah, like say like in a few months you'll have your new project out, because I really like that track you played, and let's see where it's taken. But you definitely will be back for sure. I would love that. And good luck on the webinar, and people at home, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to know more about Leo Moreno, check out his Facebook page. You get True Identity, Leo Moreno, and check out the webinar. It will be in the Lessons in Live group. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next week when I have Cora from Montreal, and he's a spiritual artist. He makes spiritual kind of music, and he's spiritual music. He makes more like sort of, I don't want to call it deep house, but like musical deep house, techno, whatever you want to call it. So see you next week. Thanks for tuning in, and ta-da!